It is important to note that while the media focuses on Trump's daily tweets and scandals, outbursts, and distractions, the government he installed is hard at work making policy that affects our lives. And one of those installations, Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos, has been quietly overseeing a massive rollback of civil rights regulations in her department. For more, this is the check-in. So within the Department of Education, there's an important office called the Office for Civil Rights. Now, for people who can't afford a lawyer, appealing to this office is often the only way they can seek justice if they feel a civil rights violation has occurred. The problem is, it doesn't seem like Betsy DeVos knows much about it, at least based on this exchange.
The Office for Civil Rights is committed to protecting the civil rights as determined under the law of this land.
That's not the mission statement. Do you know what it is?
Perhaps you could share it.
That's okay.
I have not memorized
that's okay.
the mission statement.
Please explain for me what you would believe to be vigorous enforcement of civil rights in the context of schools today.
It would be following the law and enforcing the law as stated.
Okay.
She just fully gave up. That's how I sound when I'm stuck on the phone with Time Warner. I want an operator. No, operator. Okay. Fios it is. So DeVos claims to respect the mission statement, but the reality is she's been dismantling and defunding the Civil Rights Office. In fact, shortly after that exchange, 3 civil rights organizations, including the NAACP, which incidentally is how Betsy DeVos spells kneecap, sued the Department of Education over new procedures that allow its Office for Civil Rights to dismiss complaints that it determines to be burdensome. Before DeVos, the office was obligated to review any complaint in which a civil rights violation may have occurred. But now DeVos is using the Office for Civil Rights to investigate complaints like whether programs supporting women at Yale University and the University of Southern California violate federal law by discriminating against men. That's right, the Civil Rights Office is taking up the cause of white guys trying to get into Yale. Because I believe it was Martin Luther King who said, "I have a dream that my bro Chad could be accepted to Yale with a 2.6 GPA and a letter from his dad, and not be tossed aside into Dartmouth or, God forbid, Cornell." Making matters even worse, the Trump administration recently announced it would be reversing yet another Obama-era policy meant to protect minority students and promote diversity.
A push to promote diversity in college admissions is being rescinded.
Critics say the reversal is a politically motivated attack on affirmative action.
The Trump administration discouraging the use of race to achieve diversity in college admissions.
So you don't want to use race to achieve diversity. What are you going to use? The different spellings of Caitlin? Now, DeVos has also been propping up and promoting voucher schools. You can think of voucher schools like a gift certificate for parents who, instead of sending their kids to a public school, can use taxpayer money to send their kids to a private school. Doesn't sound so bad on the surface. I mean, after all, Betsy DeVos went to a private school and she turned out. The problem is, according to reports, many of these schools are run by Christian churches and have been known to discriminate against LGBTQ students. Some lawmakers were alarmed at these reports and tried to get DeVos to go on record to say that federal aid would not go to any school that doesn't comply with our national anti-discrimination laws. And it was a painful process to get her to finally admit that.
Will you guarantee as Secretary of Education that that money is included with non-discrimination policies for those private schools?
As I said, federal dollars.
Is that a yes
federal
or a no?
Dollars going to any program requires.
So what is your
interpretation
of federal law?
I think I've made this clear.
Then just say yes or no.
Federal dollars going anywhere for education, federal laws are adhered to.
So you would not be able to send federal dollars to a private school that did not adhere to the full panoply of civil rights laws in this country.
Federal law must be
Is that a
followed.
yes or no? Just say yes or no. Yes or no.
Federal law must be followed when federal money is involved. So
is there some problem? Yes or no? Will you guarantee?
I think I've been clear.
Then say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Great, thank you. Whoa, wow, took a year.
Yeah. And one. A year? A year is a very long time. 8th grade took Betsy DeVos 2 years. Unfortunately, it's taken DeVos even less time to systematically dismantle civil rights protections. And this administration is telling us that she is the most qualified person to lead that agency. And all I can say to that is,
Okay.
this has been The Check-In.